Hello, hello, hello. How are you? How are you this last tidbit of our Thanksgiving weekend? I'm sad to see it over. Mark and I, Mark and I had a really, really good time and just relaxing. We cooked a big meal and we had a good time. We had a good time. And I'm kind of sad because I kind of wish we I wasn't ready to come back to work, so to speak. But I missed you all and thought, nah, I need to get there and say hi to my ladies. But there was a big part of me that thought, I love this taking it easy stuff. But how are all of you? Let me see. Hello, everybody. Oh, my goodness. There's a good amount of people. Sonia and Vicky. Hi, Vicky Robles and Marsha. It is so good to see all of you. I'm glad you had a chance to say hi. I was trying to get here. I was trying to do something with my hair. And as you can see, I didn't do a good job with it. But Linda's here. Hello, and Susan. Hello, dear Susan. So, this is so great to see you all. And I've got some good photos to show you later. Kathleen Ziegler, it is so good to see you. Yes, I also hope that everyone had a great holiday. I told you I'm going to be decorating this holiday within an inch of my life. And you won't believe it. But evidently that's what other people are doing too. And so I read that people who have had fake Christmas trees for years are getting live Christmas trees. They're getting, new Christmas trees. It bothers me when my hair doesn't look right, but what am I going to do? Okay, so I'm going to quickly glue a ribbon on this. This is for something I'm hoping to do this coming week, but I thought I would get it out and remind you that this is something I enjoy doing. So I need to get the ribbon on it so it will have a chance to cool. The glue will cool so I can hold it up and show you. But anyway, so we wanted a big meal. Mark got us a 20-pound turkey, and I wanted all the traditional stuff. So I knew that I don't have all my energy back, and I knew that I was going to have to get started early. So I did. I set up a chart, and I started Monday. Did a couple little things Monday, and like feed my sourdough starter because I'm abusive to that sourdough. Let me tell you, you're supposed to use it all the time, and I have the liquid version. It's called the sourdough potato flake starter, and I love it. I have been using it on and off, since the late 80s. And there have been a couple times I had to start from scratch. And I hate that because then it takes like 2 months to get that flavor. But I just store it. It's a syrup kind of. It's water, sugar, potato flakes, and some yeast to start it out. And then supposedly you take it out of the refrigerator and feed it. Let me get this in my hair. I think it'll help me. My hair is distracting me. So anyway, so you get it out of the refrigerator and you renew it with some water and sugar and potato flakes. And since I hadn't used mine in almost a year probably, I put some more yeast in it, let it sit out all day. And then I take a cup and a half of it and I make up the dough. The beauty of sourdough is it takes a long time to rise. because it's a more natural yeast. And so you have to have a nice, cozy, warm atmosphere for it. And it rises slowly. So to bake these rolls, I started on Monday feeding my starter. Tuesday, and I let it sit out 12, 15 hours and put it in the refrigerator, down low in the refrigerator. You don't want it to freeze. And because yeast is a living organism. So I put it back in the refrigerator. Then Tuesday, I got it out and I made my dough. Was it Tuesday? No, I'm sorry. I fed it Tuesday and made the dough Wednesday, and then let the dough rise off and on. And I would, knock it down, knead it again. And I have a bread machine. I do it on the dough setting in the bread machine. But I found when you do an extra kneading, it really makes it tender. So then I make up, I let that rise all day long. And that night before I go to bed, I roll out a big pan of rolls. I prefer rolls over loaves because it's so much easier to get out and heat up and all of that. So I made the rolls and then put them in the refrigerator. Then when Mark, he wakes up earlier than me, he got them out and puts them on the back of the stove. If you turn on the light above the stove, usually that's enough heat that gets them going. And then I baked them about 3 p.m. They were heaven. In fact, I have some little ones to show you here. So, but this is my favorite recipe. And here's one of them. And the flavor in them, they're a touch sweet, and the flavor in them is really, really, really good. And we heat them up, but when you get them out of the oven and you can put some fresh butter on them, I could eat this alone. So, and so what I did is then after I used that part of the sourdough, I stuck it in the back of the refrigerator, and it'll be months before I pull it out again. So the starter is what has the flavor. And being a liquid starter, you don't have to constantly be making it. Some of the starters that are like a dough, they require so much work. That's what you call a mother. And I guess you could call my liquid starter, the syrup, a mother. But it thrives on neglect. Now, if you ever pull out the starter and it has mold on it, then you have to throw it away and start again. But usually if you put it in the back of the refrigerator and just leave it be, you can't jostle it because the top the air buildup in it, the top will pop off. But anyway, I wanted to show you these. This is Pysenky Eggs. And I made these. You won't believe it. This egg is 20 years old. I made this 20 years ago. I think I could do a better job now. This one is 21 years old. Look at this. Merry Christmas, 1999. So what I'm hoping to do, and this is Happy New Year 2000. So I made them the same rough time period, but 21 years ago. And I can't wait to do this year's bunch. So I just thought I'd show you. Hopefully next week, I will have some Pysenky eggs to show you. It's a Russian tradition. They usually do them for Easter. So, I've got so much to tell you. And one of the very exciting things is, that there's a dear lady I think the world of, and her name is Merry May. And she calls herself Merry Mayhem when she does her mystery quilts. And if you've never done a mystery quilt, it's where you're given the instructions one step at a time. And I found that this alone, I want to show you something. I do believe it was a Miss Susan that made this. So I keep it up all year round. I love it. So I keep it up. But thank you. So anyway, but the mystery, they give you one step at a time. And it really helped me focus because I'm always so focused on the end product. I can't wait to see what the end product is. Sometimes I get sloppy in my execution. And so this hair is still bothering me, guys. Hold on just a second. It's on my last nerve. I told Mark, I said, I'm just not quite I'm not into the whole thing of doing today's show. And I apologize. I want to be, but my brain is like shut down. But anyway, oh, look at Susan. Here it's Merry Mayhem's Mystery Quilts. And she's got another New Year's mystery. And I've decided I'm going to do it this year. I can shop my stash. I don't need anything extra. She's very, very good at giving you good instructions and good hints on what colors and fabrics to use. And I want to read you something. I'll put this back up so you can write it, because if all you have to do to participate is sign up for her newsletter. Okay, this will be case number 144. Fill in the blanks. It's very flexible, giving you many options as to the size of the quilt or project, as well as choosing which blocks to put in your final masterpiece. So, this year it's not free. I don't think. She said it's going to be at a I'm sorry. All of hers before have been free if you felt like making a $3 donation. This one's going to be $12.99 per person. I'm still going to do it because I can't go to a quilt show. I can't go to a quilt class. I can't go to a quilt seminar, and I want to do it. So I am sorry. I didn't read it all the way down first to let you know. There's a $12.99 for the entire series. So it says this is her 45th pattern that she has created. Understand, she designs this and she works out all the instructions. She was the lady that I used to be a quilt tester for about maybe 3 or 4 quilts until I realized I was no good at it. I don't like reading the instructions. I read the information that you print out. I follow the cutting instructions, and then after that, I wing it. So I had to finally say, I'm not good at this. You need Bonnie and Susan. They're good at this. But anyway, the link for the quilt along will not be available until New Year's Day. So she said that she had part 1 up. Usually she gives you part 1, gives you plenty of time to gather your fabrics and get them some pre-cutting done. Okay? So that she was the first ever person to host a 1-day online mystery. And it's a quilt project back then they did it through Planet Patchwork. Do any of you remember Planet Patchwork back in 1996? I started doing these, I think about 2005 or 6, and just fell in love with the whole mystery quilt process. The only downside is if you don't like your color placement or the fabrics you used with the finished product, then it can be tricky. But if you're at all too worried about that, start with a small size, and then that way you can go, I don't think this is going to work. And before you pick better fabric, you can then change it around. But anyway, I'm going to put this back up. I love Merry Mayhem, and this is a chance for me to have fun. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to download the part 1, and then I'm going to I'll probably be down here all day New Year's Day. And I don't know what day of the week is New Year's Day. Oh, that's wonderful. Bonnie Hunter has started her mystery quilt. That's wonderful. She does wonderful mystery quilts. They're little, they're a lot of pieces because she loves her what do you call it when you use all different kinds of fabrics? I've forgotten what is Bonnie set up her whole business on. And but anyway, so I just thought I'd let you know about my Merry Mayhem. It is $12.99 a person, but you know what? That's not bad for all the fun. And usually, and I assume this is going to be the same thing, is she'll give you the instructions first, and then during New Year's Day, every hour or two, she'll give you the next step. So if you're on the ball and if you're really ready to work and don't get distracted, you can have a finished top by the end of the day. So that's what my goal is. Do I ever have a finished top at the end of the day? No, but there's always hope. So anyway, I'm going to be doing this New Year's Day. What day of the week is New Year's Day? I didn't check to see. Hopefully it's not a Sunday. So let me see. New Year's Day is a Friday. That's my day. So I don't watch football. I don't even watch those parades anymore. So I'll set myself up with all my food and snacks. Gotta have chocolate, you know. And then I will be all set up, cleaned up, ready to go. And if any of you are going to join in, give me a holler. We can chat at the same time that we're working on this. Sometimes they have a chat site up so you can talk to other people while you're sewing. So I will let you know more about that, and I'll let you know more about that as we get closer to it. I haven't yet gone to the website to see what it entails. So I will let you know once I know. All right. Well, let me start first by showing you a couple of things. Number one, I got in the mail a letter from my grandsons, and this is Russell's hand. His mommy traced his hand and colored the turkey, and it says, "Dear Nana and Grandpa, Happy Thanksgiving, love, Russell and Donnie." Is that the sweetest? I'm going to treasure this. This is going to go in a very special, probably a picture frame to hang on the wall. Because, you know, I want to see those babies. I have some good photos of them I'm going to show you. You can't wisely go for it. Yeah, you have to be ready. Okay. I made some really cool beads recently. I'm trying to cut back on my bead addiction because I got so much to do. So here are my really cool beads, and I love the different colors. I love these also because these are the tapered beads. They call them barrel beads, and I think they're really pretty. Yeah, it's a very cheap addiction compared to most addictions. So that part is good. But these are just all junk mail and some magazine pages. But mainly magazine covers are really good. So, that's a great idea. That is a wonderful idea, Miss Susan. So anyway, I just thought I'd show you. You know, upstairs, I have a bag filled to bursting. In fact, I can't keep the zipper part closed because it keeps popping open. Now look how much more I have. So let's just say the paper bead making is still a great comfort to me. But anyway, okay, let me get that out of the way. Now, I know what I'm going to show you. Remember I told you about the frames you can get pretty inexpensively. I got from the dollar store. I know you probably hard to see, but I got this from the dollar store, so it was $1, and it has 4 rings on it. And remember I told you that you take strips of fabric, probably about 1.5 inches by 7 or 9, maybe 9 inches is better, or 8 inches. And if you tie them on, see on the back, you can see all the knots. And it takes a lot of strips. And I made one of each of these. I made one for me and one for each daughter. So we all have these. And then I just took a strip of fabric and made a bow at the bottom. But this has a ton of fabric on it. You see that? And it's not hard. It just takes patience, because that's a lot of strips to tie on, and you have to shove them real tight in there together to get a nice full wreath. But I love this, and I still love this color. In fact, do you see the quilt for today? That's a Christmas quilt that I made maybe 8 years ago. And it was the first time I made a Christmas quilt that didn't just have red and green. It has terracotta, it has turquoise. And I remember I got that fabric from a store near Mary Jo's. And I can't remember the name of it right now as I speak. But I love that quilt. Dearly, dearly love it. It's so far, that and my Grinch are my two favorite quilts. So, okay. I had a fail this week. And I was so excited to show you guys this. But it didn't quite work out. But don't worry, I've got some good things too that did work out. Okay. This, I wanted to make what I thought I saw on a site. I thought I saw fabric covered paper pine cone ornaments. Well, I think they were just decorative paper, you know, you ladies who are scrapbookers. And I should have realized the picture was showing kind of from above looking down. Well, I found out why. Because if the color is just on one side, it looks a lot better that way. But the reality is that's what it is. Well, I wasted at least two sheets of Steam-A-Seam 2 and cardstock and fabric. And I tried making them. What I did is I put the fabric on Steam-A-Seam 2, then I cut it into strips. Well, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was figuring it out along the way. And now I've figured out I don't like doing it. So I think what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to try to take a styrofoam ball and try to make a pine cone by cutting these in pine cone piece shapes and hot gluing them. Like take a ball and try to maybe trim it down into an egg shape and then hot glue some little, like take little shapes like that, cut shapes out and hot glue it on. I don't know. But I burned my fingers. I tried, and there is a woman who makes beautiful pine cone. And she uses just the decorative papers and Christmas patterns. I think that would be easier. These got kind of heavy, having the Steam-A-Seam, the cardstock. I was afraid to use regular paper. I said I won't get a crisp edge, so I used cardstock. Did not translate well. And one warning, if you make these and you make them just out of paper, scrapbooking paper, they're going to crush. So make sure you understand this work means you have to start again next year. These I thought would stand up. And I thought, well, maybe I can take them and paint the underside a matching color. But I just don't like the look of it. It did not come out at all like hers. So This for me, for a Deb, this was a fail. But if I used some really pretty paper and followed her directions completely, I'd probably make something that I enjoyed. But anyway, so for this week, this is a fail. And it goes into the round file. It goes into the trash. I'm not even going to deal with it. So, okay. And you know what? Just because I can't do it doesn't mean you can't do it. You probably have talents that I don't have. It's so funny. Some things I'm talented with, some things I can't do to save me. Okay? So, like chemistry, there's too many formulas for a Deb. So, it is so good to see all of you. So, thank you for this. So, now I'm going to show you something that worked out really cute. So, there's the fabric. Oh, thank you. See, I couldn't find a thing that told me how to do the fabric one. Mark even helped me look, and I found the scrapbook paper ones, but not the fabric. I'm going to now tilt the camera down and show you my cute little gingerbread man. Okay. Now, next week, I will show you what I'm going to do right now. Okay, this is the air dry Crayola air dry clay. And so here are these. And this is one that I just made this morning. And I didn't end up using the cookie cutter. I just did it by hand because I guess I love the tactile feel of making it myself. These I did yesterday, this I did this morning, and they dry pretty quickly. But you should let them wait until they've been dried a couple of days. So what I'm doing is I'm not going to paint the bottom. That way they'll still dry. Now I'm going to come in. So I mixed together a brown paint. It's not quite the color I want, so I'm going to try to put a little bit more red or orange in it for the next one. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this paint. Let me make sure the paint will come out good. And then I'm going to do, this paint is going to look like icing. You know how they do this on gingerbread men? So let me do one on his leg. And then this last one on his arm here. And then maybe I'll do a little one here at his neck. You know what I'm going to do while I'm here? I'm going to paint some lines. These are going to be for his face mask. And I'm probably going to put a little bit of string on there too. But he is going to be a 2020 gingerbread man. I'll have eyes on him, and then I'm going to have a blue face mask on him here. Then I'll get some paint and do little dots for buttons, like pretend they're raisins. So this is going to be my 2020 gingerbread man, and he's going to have a cute little blue mask on his face. And I can't wait. So I'm probably going to try some light blue fabric to put there. And I might even put some little strings on it. But so I still have to paint his little buttons and his eyes and then put his mask on. So that is a very easy thing. And I'll have to get Mark to either drill a hole in his head, or maybe I'll hot glue the ribbon on the back of his head real good. And so we can hang him on the tree. And each of my kids will get one of these, and one for Mark and I. So I think that is going to be cute. And then I have these, and I wrote on the back using the paint pens that you can buy. So that's to Katie and David, and Chris and Nikki, and of course one for Mark and I had him sign his own name because I thought I'd like to. I could sign it for him, but that way I have his signature. I like that. And then to Becky and Polly. So I took them out and I sprayed them with an acrylic sealer. They didn't run. Then I took an ink pen. They were a little fuzzy. So I took an ink pen and kind of did anywhere there was dark, I took an ink pen and kind of just outlined to give them a little more definition. And now I would have had these coated. I'm going to coat them with about 3 coats of either thick, what is it called? It's not a diamond gloss, but something like a triple thick glaze, or I might go back to my Mod Podge and do that. But I'd rather use the triple thick because I found that it dries without being at all tacky. So the reason I haven't done it yet, I've got a mostly full jar of it, and the top has sealed. You know, once you open it, you really should wipe the top and wipe the rings on the jar, but I was in a hurry. We can't get it open. Mark has tried. I've soaked it with hot water. I think I'm going to have to break the lid and put it in a different container. So I found a container today that I can transfer it to, and I'm going to learn my lesson. So anyway, but these are all done except for the final glaze. They have the holes already, so I will be putting the ribbon on them and maybe a little sprig of something to decorate them. But love these. Gooby Gone. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mary Zare. Where were you when I needed you? Yes, using a toothpick would have been the perfect idea. In fact, I think I have something that would make a hole in the one. Yes. Okay. I am making the hole in the one that I just made this morning. It's still soft enough. And you got to get it before it starts drying because, boy, this wants to crack easily. But there we go. Thank you. Thank you, Mary Zare. See, this is why I heating it with a heat gun. Huh. Oh, that's a great idea. That is a great idea. Thank you, guys. You are so good. So thank you very much. And I will try the heat gun to loosen that top on that diamond glaze or triple thick glaze, because I think I paid like $8 for that thing. So, and I always worry if I go to break the container, oh, that might be a mess. So I think the gingerbread men are going to come out really cute. And I tell you, it's not that I'm so smart. I just wander around the internet, clicking in Christmas ornament ideas. Now, I put the ornaments in this to keep them safe, I thought. I thought they had dried hard enough. They had little areas. This is the blackboard paint on the foam balls. They had little areas where they didn't fully dry. So when I went to take them out of the container, they stuck to each other in the container. But this, I took the pins, and this one's silver, and I don't know who this is to. I guess maybe it's for Mark and I. And then this is for my grandson, Donnie. But I've got to go back and touch these little puppies up. And here's to my grandson, Evan. Love, Nana. And I'm going to give them each a little box of chalk. And see, this just stuck together. So it takes a long time to really dry. And since I'm going to mail most of these, I better touch them up today to mail them soon. But there's my little Russell from Nana to my Charlotte. And then I've got my Kylie, all my grandbabies, and to Devin. So, and I'm going to give them a little box of chalk so that they can decorate. What it means is they're going to have a whole half that they can decorate with whatever they want for that year. So, have Mark tip it upside down and drill a hole. Oh, thank you, Susan, because I was thinking, how do we break the lid off? And that's probably going to ruin it. Y'all, my gosh, y'all are smart. I need you guys. Oh, I am so sorry, Vicky. Ouch. That is hard. I'm sure that's very hard. I have a problem. I've noticed I have limited range in this arm. That's wear and tear of life, isn't it, ladies? So, let me see. So anyway, I've got the black chalkboard paint that I'll touch those up. And then I think once I get them touched up, I might put a little sticker by where I signed it. I've got these I got from the dollar store last year. And then I'll put a nice bow on it and figure out a way to attach the chalk so they don't lose the chalk. So anyway, oh, thank you, sweetheart. Then I have this, but this is another thing that if you have grandchildren, I'll probably send some of these to my young grandsons so that their parents can help them make it. But oh, these are thinner than I thought. But I wanted them to be able to make a Christmas tree ornament. So I figured that they could take a stick. Now they're going to have, they'll use tacky glue. I'm going to use hot glue to make it fast. But what they're going to do is put these across. But what I've got to do is get Mark to then take some kind of snips and snip them for me so that you can snip them shorter and shorter. But then once you get these, and for a child, you'd have to have them pre-snipped, and you'd have to have some tacky glue. Whoops, I think the glue got cold, so let me put a little touch more here. And so you would have to have them pre-snipped so that they decrease in size. And then what I think the cutest thing is you can use pony beads or just use buttons, different color buttons to decorate the tree with. So anyway, you would do like this. And then what I would do is get a gold bead. So, and then you would cut them like this, so it's a tree shape. But I'd have them cut ahead of time. And then have them decorate with buttons or pretty color beads. And then just glue a ribbon on. And that way they have made a Christmas decoration. So I've had these, I don't know how long. I bought them at some craft store years ago, thinking that my grandson would like to use them, and then he kind of grew up. So I think it might be a good craft for my still young grandsons to grow up with. So, anyway, and if I hadn't been having so much fun taking off and watching movies, oh my gosh, I watched the movie The Money Pit. with Tom Hanks and Shelley Long. Oh my gosh, it just brought back memories from when I used to watch all those 80s movies with my girls. What fun. What fun. So I made Mark watch it too. He said, "You have a thing with 80s movies." I said, "I sure do, because that was the most fun time with my grandbaby." Now, I showed you these last year, but I think, oh, Money Pit, it was so funny. I told my daughter yesterday, I said, the best part of the whole movie for me, she loved the turkey shooting out the oven and in through the other wing of the house. I said, I love the part where the tub falls through the floor and his laugh, that desperate laugh of what else could happen. That cracked me up. So yeah, see, that was me, Susan, is I had kids then, and that's what we did. We watched Splash, we watched, what is that one? That one with Keaton, Diane Keaton, all of a sudden becomes an impromptu mom. Oh my gosh, Big. Oh my gosh, yes. I love them. Kathleen, take good care, sweetheart. It was so good to see you. So anyway, I showed you these last year, but I've gotten them back out because I want to finish them and give them to my kids. I've got one in greens and blues back here. And this was some little bit strips of fabric I had gotten. I don't know if they were fabric or fabric ribbon or something. I sewed them together, stuffed them. Mark cut some dowel rods, or you can get already cut dowel rods. Then I was too cheap to go out and buy pieces of wood, so we cut a branch out in the yard, and I cut those. Then this is cotton from a medicine bottle, but you can use scraps of stuffing or batting to wrap around. Then you can get a pretty ribbon. Let me see, this blue ribbon here. Whoops, there it is. See the blue ribbon? Or you can decorate them like this front tree with sequins and little beads. So, and then take some gold ribbon and make a little star at the top. But anyway, I just thought I'd show you these. Now, why does she have them on cardboard? Because I didn't know how to show them to you without them falling over. The one thing I need to do is ask Mark, go raid his tool supply and get some heavy spacers, what are they called? Washers, and glue them on them because they're not heavy enough. So, but I'll figure it out. So anyway, that's those. And I love those. Those are so cool. So let me check. Oh, I got to check my list. I know a couple extra things we're going to do. So let me take a break to kind of pull myself together because I'm ditzy today. You're looking for something special for your New Year's Eve. Oh, good job. Vicki, that's great. My children were born in 78, 81, and 86. So, baby boom. That's it, Susan. Oh, thank goodness. Susan is so smart. She saves me when I can't quite figure out what I'm trying to say. Okay. Brush on okay. I talked about that. Okay. And I have a jar of fabric stiffener I'd gotten that someone was giving away. And I'm going to try to get some little thin fabric like scarves for my little baby snowmen and use the fabric stiffener to make it look real pretty and windblown. But if you don't have fabric stiffener, try some white glue. I think it would work. One of the things I'm going to do to show you next week is I saw this cute project on the my Michael's newsletter, and they called them cloches, which is a fancy term for a glass top, like gardeners used to put these over delicate plants if they got a cold spell. But I found upstairs, a glass jar with a lid, and it's supposed to be kind of like a what do they call them? Snowballs, snow globes, snow globes. And I'm going to take my polymer clay upstairs with me today. And I'm going to take white and orange and black and red and maybe even some green. And I'm going to make some tiny little snowmen and bake them. And the good thing is I'll get to make them and put them fully together before I bake them. So then I don't have to glue them. And yes, Vicki, that's exactly it. He's your youngest. Yep, that my 78er is my oldest daughter. Oh, look at that. That's neat. Oh, man, you were a busy lady. I tell you. Goodness gracious. You get the prize, Mary. You get the prize. I had my third and said, that's it. But actually, I had 4 pregnancies, but I had a stillbirth, a little girl. So after I finally had my son, I thought, I'm not trying this. I'm not doing this again. It was too much, too hard on my heart. But thank goodness I have mine. So you are brave, brave lady. So anyway, do you remember the clear ball I showed you last week? And I had tried using 2 types of glue, and I had put the little sprinkle ball things that you can buy to put on baked goods. That thing got uglier and uglier and uglier because when I used the school glue, it was so wet that everything ran and got nasty. So I'm not going to waste the plastic ball. So I soaked it overnight in hot soapy water and part of the next day and kept swishing and swishing and swishing. And here it is. So I finally got out all of the glue, although I'm just looking. There's a little, see that glue with the little ball shapes on it? So I've got a little ghost remembrance of that. It just did not work out. So what I'm going to do is probably do a glitter. And maybe I'll show y'all that in just a minute. I've got to kind of whisk around my finish here. And you're not supposed to shake it. You don't want the air bubbles. But I'll swish it real good. I've got lots of cute things to decorate my ornaments with, flowers and beads and little holly things and all of that. Okay. So I've still got a few little things I'm working on, but I want to start sewing. I love crafting, don't get me wrong, but I love sewing best. In fact, let me unplug my glue gun. I don't think I need my glue gun for anything. So I actually sat and worked at a sewing machine yesterday. And I had missed it. I had missed it. So I put on my Netflix and off I went sewing. All right. So I've got 2 more things to show you. Hold on. Yeah, this is just all the different little things that all of the ornaments that I have hand painted or decorate. I am going to then put a ribbon. I've got all kinds of ribbons here on this. Do you see? Yeah, you can see that table. And then I'm going to take little berries and hot glue. And so anyway, okay. So what I need to show you now is, do you remember that I was talking to you about, I had gotten some fabric from some birthday gift certificates and decided I wanted to make an Art Deco quilt. So let me show you the picture that I had of the design I made. And it was pretty good, but it had a few little problems. Down bottom, that looks weird. And it doesn't, I could get them straightened out. Understand, I had to hand draw applique shapes. Not all, and you have to do, I'm sure there's a thing to do applique, but I only know how to do the pencil and go from dot to dot to dot. So anyway, but this ended up looking weird. So I told Mark, let me work on it. And I did. And I've got 2 ideas to show you. And I'm going to still tweak both of these ideas. What I wanted was like a group of dynamic triangle shapes, okay? So I did this one where I took these, I did these 3 ascending or descending triangle shapes here. And I like it, but I don't like that it goes all the way to the top. I need to have the last one stop somewhere here and then have the other 2. What I'm trying to do is to make it so that I can do a paper piece pattern, make it much easier to make those blocks. So I've got to make them smaller, but it's like, okay, I'm liking that pretty good. I'm liking that pretty good. So one thing I just realized I might, no, that wouldn't look right. I was thinking of turning these 2 to face the other way, but then I don't think that'll be right either. So here is the other. This is that shape, but done a different way. So this is that one. This is that one. So it's getting better. I think that this looks better. This one looks better than this. Oh, well, let me get it. And then I like the lighter color. It makes it pop better. See that half circle? So it's getting better. This is better than this one, but I still have to tweak it. Then I told y'all I would give you this pattern. I've got to tweak it and make sure I really like what's going on with it. Then I have to write up directions because a picture itself is not enough. I've got to, and luckily EQ8, I wish I had taken the lessons because this would be so much easier if I really knew what I was doing. But I wanted to say I love designing my own quilts. I don't do it often because it takes a lot of time. So when Mary May wants $12.99 for her mystery, you got to say, you know what? It's worth $12.99 because I've already spent 16 or plus hours on designing this. And that's not even counting all the time that I did researching what kind of design I even wanted. All right. So now here we are with this Christmas quilt. And Laura McMahon, was it Lana? It's on last week's show in the description. She did this Christmas block with poinsettias, and I really love the block. I have a problem, and I need you to tell me what. I'm going to show it to you, and I need you to help vote. I did 2 different blocks. The first block I thought was too busy. So I made the second one. I'm thinking it's too stark. So I'm not sure which one to use or to use both of them alternating. So are you ready? Okay. But I was working on this and asking Mark for his help, and he got a little confused as well. So, all right. Let me get these ribbons out of the way and then show you this. Okay. Here they are. Whoops, they're not going to, it's too top heavy. It's not going to stand up, so I'll hold it. All right. Here, this is the same block, but the difference is in the background fabric. Okay? Now let me bring a little more light in here so you can see. Here's the first block I made. Here's the second block I made. So, what I need to know, there are 3 choices. Number 1, just this block. Number 2, just this block. Choice number 3 would be use them both, alternate them. So, what do you like best? Isn't that tricky? So you can vote. Number 1 would be just use this one. Number 2 would be just use this one. Choice number 3 would be use half and half and alternate them. And in fact, but I think it's a really pretty block. And I'm using fabric I got from Pineapple Fabrics last year. Okay, now they're touching. So this is what it would look like if you use both. And I said, I told Mark, thank goodness I have the ladies. I need to ask them how I should handle this. But I was afraid if I use just this one, it's a little too stark. And this one, it's a little too busy. So, there are the choices. Now, I can't wait to come see what you think. So, give me a second to catch up. Okay. I've got some 2s. Hi, Golden Quilter. I've got some 2s. I've got some boths. Okay, let's see. So both, that would be make equal blocks of each of those designs and then alternate them. I think I would get a more sparkly quilt that way. Use them both. Okay, then Golden Quilter likes the bottom one. Susan likes the bottom right with the background. I use the purple can of Aquanet. I need that stuff the hairspray that just doesn't let it move. That's so cute. Okay, so it's looking like interesting. I'm getting a lot of both of them. So, but I really do like that block. I think it's really cool. So, anyway, good to see you, Nancy. All right. Oh, I did something else. Remember last week I showed you I had glued some snow on the front of this, and then I put a little white paint to glue some snow on to see what that would look like. It looked much prettier. So what I did, then I came back and did the whole thing over with white paint and then dipped it in what's called snowflakes. Isn't this the cutest thing? That made it. So this is that caroler and the trees I made, and putting the snowflakes on the front, I think made the ornament. So I'm so tickled. What I need to make sure and do is to put my name and the year on the bottom. Please put your name on things, because if these survive one day passed down the line, they'll know when it was made. So I think that is pretty great. All right. And I wanted to show you this one more thing again, because I really do like the way this one turned out. And this was done. This was done with that little white paint bottle that you saw me use with the gingerbread. And I signed it and put the year. Got to fix that too again. But anyway, and don't forget that if your paints don't play nicely, then use a wooden toothpick to kind of, once it's dry, to kind of scrape it off and then touch it back up. And I will probably take that can of spray acrylic and do this just so that they don't rub off. But I've had so much fun with those. Here's one I had done a lot of stuff on. So anyway, and then you of course remember my snowmen. And one of these snowmen I think is going to end up with a Santa hat. Maybe I would like put the Santa hat on him. So, alrighty. Let me show you something really quickly. Blossom. Stop. All right. If you want to do the prettiest, oh, I hope I brought it down. Yes. Here is a sampler of glitter that I just love. So I'm just going to show you really quickly that I've got to open this can of polyurethane. Okay. So here, and this is the real polyurethane, not the water-based. Sadly, I couldn't find my water-based yet. I'm going to take one of these. I've forgotten now what this is called, but I'm going to pull up some of the polyurethane and put in the ornament. Okay. And then, oops, was I out of camera range? I apologize if I was. But I'm pipette. This is a pipette. And I'm just going to suck up a little bit and pour it. Now, you can always pour it from the can. But I had these pipettes the other day, and I thought, that'll make it less messy. And then it takes a little while because you have to roll around, cover everything with the polyurethane. So see it right there. In fact, let me try my new light. Let's see if you can see this. So you can see that yellow polyurethane in there. And you roll it very slowly and carefully around. Now, the easiest thing would be to put a bunch of it in here, because then it would make the rolling easier. But then you have to spend more time holding it over the can, letting the excess drain back in. Because you want just a thin coating. You don't want it goopy. Now, the one reason it's good to use the water-based polyurethane, the one thing that's good is this can tend to yellow over time. So, if you can find the water-based, and some people have said if you have some of that clear floor polish, I forgot what it's called. I don't even know if you can find it anymore. But there was a clear floor polish we used to use on our vinyl floors. Future. I think that's what it was called. Future Floor Wax. But I don't know if you can find it anymore. So now once I've rolled it around, I don't think I'm going to have so much that I'm going to have to drain it over the can. But I put it upside down on this. So I put it upside down on this. And that way it'll come down the sides and coat it. Now this is right strong smelling, so I'm going to cover this up and put it out of the way. Luckily I've got a fan down here by my feet. But then I'm going to take out one of these packages of glitter. And oh, I love this one. So, but I've got to make sure every bit is covered. So I think I'm going to have to put a little bit more in there. It's not quite doing the job. So let me put some more. But this, please open windows if you use this oil version, because it is very strong. This is the stuff they used to always use when they refinish your floors. And I've had it because I used to refinish furniture, but evidently not much because I still have it. Okay, so you're just rolling it around. This is the boring part. I get very impatient. You know me. I've got a squirrel mentality. Oh, boring, boring, boring. But if you don't get it all the way around, you're going to have blank spots on the ball where the glitter won't stick. So anyway, I'm just trying to, if you hold it in one, like I have a blank spot right here. And so what I do is hold it this way so a lot will come down the sides and meet up. And then that way you end up with this glob and you let it roll in the blank spot. So, whoops, here's another blank spot. When you hold it near a light, you can see what's been covered and what hasn't. All right, so I'm going to now hang this here. I think I'm checking it very carefully. You only have one time to get this right. If you don't get it right, that's too bad, because to try to put this back in when it already has glitter in it, it would just make a gloppy mess. So you have one chance to get it right. And I've got a little bead of it and I'm running it around to make sure it's all covered. All right, so I'm going to let this hang there for a second. I'm going to let it hang while we go look at your photos. Then when we come back, I'm going to put the magic glitter in. So, okay. Here we go. Let's look at your amazing photos. All right, let me turn off this light. Okay. There we go. Pardon me a second. I hate messing with that microphone while it's on. All right. Okay. Oops. All right. All right. Now let's go to the photos because we've got some real cute ones here. All right. I just want to remind you, while we're talking about Christmas ornaments, B. Hepworth's amazing Christmas card. That is just lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So it kind of encourages me to maybe, I know I don't send many cards out anymore. I don't know about y'all, but that's kind of fallen by the wayside. And sometimes I'm sad about it, and sometimes I'm like, whew, thank goodness. But here is Miss Bonnie's Christmas in Jacksonville. And she said it's going to be a UFO for this year. Because, boy, that's a lot of work. She's got to decide how she is going to. Is she going to put sashing? How many blocks wide by how many blocks high? So she's got a lot of that to figure out with it. But she has done a wonderful job, and that is all done by what we call red work, but of course can be with, whoops, oh, I'm having a hard time. Let me see. I'm going to have to close this, and then here I go back. Once I enlarge it, it is very hard for me to. Here is her rail fence. that she got done for this year. Love it. And then here is, she had her table set and ready for Thanksgiving. And I love it. She's got a buffet set up here. Look at her sweet quilt, and then the table, and then another little area set up there. So way to go, Miss Bonnie. I meant to take pictures of the meal because it's like, wow, I haven't cooked that much since, well, last year I did for my kids. But guess what? We forgot. We were sitting there stuffing our faces, and I went, oops, I forgot something. Oh, well, we won't worry about it. But I was really pleased because you know how every year something will not come out right. Well, this year everything came out right. Here is Mrs. Diana Wright's beautiful, beautiful harvest quilt. I just think that is just gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay, now let me see if it'll allow me. Okay, now it'll allow me to move forward. And this is so cute. This is a hen and chicks. I love it. That is so whimsical. Okay. And this is really cute. This is a Pat Sloane quilt that she was working on, a Pat Sloane Christmas quilt. I love that Scotty dog, or I guess it's a schnauzer. Cute. Whoops. I didn't mean to go past them. Hold on. Here, let's do another close-up of this one. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? Just beautiful. She's a talented gal, her. Let me tell you. All right. Oops. Hold on. All right. And here's another one of this gorgeous, gorgeous quilt. Way to go, Miss Diana Wright. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? And I love the quilting design she did. How cool. I don't know how she comes up with all of these amazing things she does. Wonderful job. Okay, this one's not letting me. Okay, here we go. This is an Alex Anderson quilt she worked on, and she finished it. It's beautiful, beautiful. And Alex Anderson quilts have a lot going on them too, so I'm impressed. And then here's her Pat Sloane on the frame. She's so organized. When I grow up, I want to be Diana Wright, because then I can really get stuff done. Very, very disciplined woman. Isn't this beautiful? That again is the Alex Anderson quilt. I think she did beautiful work on that. Okay, let's see. Oh, and her snowman. I love that quilt. That is just so cute. All right, so now let's see who we're going to go check out. Diane 57, you know she did a sewing machine cover. And I was really tickled to see that. Good job. Wonderful job. All right. And then today I have to delete these folders every so often because my computer won't hold all of the pictures, and I couldn't bring myself to delete Miss Jody's. It was just so amazing and just really phenomenal. And I'm not ready yet to delete those, so I thought I'd better show them again. And sometime I'm going to have to delete them, but I sure hate doing that. All right, here we go with Miss Linda. And I love these things because they can be a gift that comes from the heart. And you can decorate them as little or as much as you want. And it's just, whoops, I went by too fast again. Look at this. Look, and this one, look at, believe it says. And then look at the pine bough and the little, I don't know if that's a pine siskin or what, but just beautiful. And the buttons and the little bits of lace. I want to do more of this. This is really speaking to my heart lately. And look at all of this. Little embroidery work, buttons, yo-yos, just bits of lace. It's almost like a modern crazy quilt style, if you think about it. So it's a modern version. Now, she is a very talented artist. Look at these beautiful ornaments she painted. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And then you know that she used to do glass work. Look at these. They're just so beautiful. So thank you, Miss Linda. We appreciate it. Okay. Now, Miss Nadine sent us a few photos. Let's see. Come on. Here is a new Christmas quilt that she's working on. Oh, gosh, that's so cute. I love it. Love, love, love it. She's got a good eye for a folk art type feel. Here's a close-up of the quilt. Oh, wow. I love the quilting in the back. That's great. Okay. Now let's see what else she has. Oh, look at this. I just love this one. How wonderful to be able to have that to put on your bed every Christmas. I've never finished a big enough quilt to put on the bed just for Christmas. But boy, I would sure love to one day. Aren't these beautiful? Look at her gingerbread men. I just love it. Okay, that's that. All right, let's see who is next. Nancy Golden Quilter. We know, now this will get you in the Christmas mood. Oh my goodness. Look outside her window. Oh my goodness. That's what Colorado looks like before Thanksgiving. Isn't that amazing? Oh, beautiful. But it could be a postcard, couldn't it? All right, let's see what else. Her wonderful sewing room. I love it. Look how wonderful. It's organized. Everything, though, is right where she can see it and touch it. Wonderful room. Wonderful, wonderful room. And that is a great use of one of those lamps, those octopus arm lamps, because that way you can have light exactly where you need it. Wonderful. Great idea. Okay. So thank you, Miss Nancy, Miss Golden Quilter. Here we've got, boy, has Pat Fry been busy. Besides having her birthday this week, and besides having her granddaughter, that cutie pie, up visiting with her, and she made that cute kitty toy for her granddaughter, and she made this sack or tote for her son, and this she made for the grandkids last year, and this is a cool, awesome apron, pot holder, and oven mitt set she made. So she has been a very busy lady with great gifts for all her family. Love it. So way to go, Miss Pat. You have been very productive this week. I love that. All right, Miss Cheryl. Now, you know Miss Cheryl is working on a block of the Christmas. And here is one of the blocks she made. But then I want to show you, I was talking about Mark took me to Mount Airy and how sweet it was to see that little town and how it's still busy and people love to come see it. She's outside Floyd's barber shop. Isn't that the cutest? So I love getting to see her and her husband when they visited Mount Airy in North Carolina. So, so cute. Thank you, Miss Cheryl with an S. Thank you very much. Okay. And I think we have And our final picture of the day is going to be from Miss Susan, who is a quilt tester with the Quilt Pattern Magazine, the online quilt pattern magazine, and she did a beautiful job. And her and Miss Bonnie are amazing quilt testers. So way to go, Miss Susan. Beautiful work. Okay, so now let me get you back. Okay. I don't know what. Oh, I know now what makes that noise. It's a little key that I use to loosen and tighten the joints. And it hangs there, but it makes too much noise. So I'm going to make sure that we put that in a different place. So, okay. So now let's go back here. Let me find y'all again. And we're going to do on our final, we're going to, here is the ornament. I'm not sure if that's helping or not. Let me see. But here's the ornament, and it's been draining really good. It was tilted a little, so I'm going to help it. And you can see it drained a little bit down to this paper towel. Okay, and I'm going to kind of rub the excess off on that. Tap it. All right. Now I need a pan, because you know that glitter never stays where you want it to. So now I'm going to show you. I cut off a corner of this. I think I'm going to cut off this inside corner. Last time when I cut off the corner, I had a hard time getting some of the glitter out. So you put the glitter in the ball and you start tapping and shaking and tapping and shaking. And the tapping, you know, gets the excess glitter off. But that pretty much used that early part. So these sampler packs of glitter are wonderful because they give you a lot of choices of color, but they don't go very far. So if you see a color you really know you want, then you need to buy a bigger container than just a sampler. And I'm just rolling it and tapping it and rolling it and tapping it. Now, this is where you could also, if you wanted to do it two-toned, you could roll it up to a certain point and then put a different color. And I might do that in a moment, but I want to put a little bit more of this beautiful blue in it. And let me, some of it got stuck on the neck here, and I want to push it down just a little. But let me, I don't like to waste any of this because it's so beautiful. Okay, here we go. Now I think I've got enough. I need a little more on this side. Whoops, I'm probably not doing the camera low enough. Let me make sure. I want you to be able to see it. So already I've used a half of that pack of glitter. Okay, so that's really pretty. Now, what I think I'm going to do, maybe I'll come in here with some white. And you just, and you've already shaken this around and you kind of have a line. See that line? Now I'm going to shake this into the ball. Okay. And then you come up and shake near this edge. See how it's filling in there? Let me pour some more in. Okay. I'm wondering what would happen. Ah, you can kind of push and pull, making little lines in it. See how you can make little, then I wonder if I do that and then pour in some more. Okay. So you can get some little streaks through. And then go around to the top, and then you can pour out the extra. Then you just set this upside down and let it dry. Okay, so there is how I do a glitter ornament. And I just thought I would show you. So make sure you send me photos. Let's do that. That's a great idea. Ladies, we should do, she was talking about do, it kind of like a Jitsi is kind of like a Zoom. We can just sit and talk and work on Linda's wonderful, what does she call them? Um, like a crazy quilt kind of project. You could gather buttons, any little cute thing, charms, anything you find in your sewing junk drawer. And I would love it. And she could teach us how to make, if she could come, she could teach us how to make yo-yos. I've never made a yo-yo before. Can you believe it? Slow stitching. There you go, Linda. Slow stitching. So, if you aren't a member of our group's IO, give us a holler, and we'll invite you. But I think it would be really nice. Get your floss, yes, do embroidery, get some fabric scraps. I think that would be lovely. I would love to do that. That would be wonderful. I would like to at some point get all of my goodies for sale and put them up. I just have to stay focused long enough. But anyway, but I did want to tell you, I'm feeling so much better. I just don't have my energy up yet. I'm still working on that. But I actually ran down the hall the other day, scared Mark to death. But I'm finally starting to feel normal again, and it's a joy. So thank you all so much. Oh, there you go. You can send me an email. You can send me pictures of things you make. We would love to see them. And we would love to have you join us for a Jitsi where we sit and sew and do some slow stitching. And we'll see if we can't get Linda on there to act as our teacher. And Susan, of course, is the hostess with the mostest. And that would be a lot of fun. So be looking on our group, and Susan will let us know a good time for her. And come and bring all your little bits of yarn, bits of anything you would like to stitch down, except the cat. Cats don't like to be stitched down. But anyway, Joanne's has yo-yo makers. Aha. I love it. You know what I want to do too? I saw the coolest YouTube. I've been searching YouTube, and I saw the coolest thing where you take a piece of cardboard or chipboard and you make a little portable weaving loom. That got me thinking. So I love it. Yes, Linda, let us know. And we would love it. And you just, if you can get to our site, you can click on the Jitsi invitation and bring something to drink and bring something to snack on or some chocolate and meet us there. And we'll all sit and do slow sewing with Linda. Because let me tell you, Linda has really inspired us. Linda McCollum, this woman is so talented. And maybe she'll bring some of her beautiful things that she's done, things that she's painted and made in the past. So inkle weaving. Oh, I saw that. That looks too hard though. I saw that and I went, oh my gosh, that's work. So I'll look it up again. But I saw this woman in a lovely old costume, and I thought that's a lot of work. Was that the with the folding cards, and she weaves the tapes? But anyway, well, thank you for joining me today. I've missed you all. Although I gotta be honest, it was fun sleeping as long as I could sleep, eating whenever we wanted to, no work schedule to worry about, and it was lovely. So I hope you had a nice, quiet. Oh, and just to tell you, my kids, all of my kids, and I. Oh, I forgot to show you my pictures. I'll show them to you next week. But I've got pictures of the kids. But anyway, we all did a Zoom, and it was wonderful. So if you can't be there in person, we can Zoom. Um, Oh, we are. Well, if anybody wants to participate in Merry Mayhems, we can do a New Year's Day because I'll be working on that on New Year's Day. But what, Vicky? We're also talking about doing a Jitsi, and we're going to talk with Linda and see when she's available, and we'll all come and bring some hand sewing, especially if you want to learn her slow sewing techniques, and we'll sit and just chat and sew. It'll be a virtual quilt bee. And I think that's just what my soul needs. Thank you, Miss Susan, for thinking about it. You're so wonderful. So be looking at our site, our group's IO. And if you're not a member and you want to get in on this, send me an email and let's go ahead and plan this. I'm looking forward to it. Okay? You all are wonderful. Thank you so much for spending this day with me. And thank you for putting up with my half asleep brain. And we'll see you at Jitsi, and I'll see you next week for more quilting fun and more crafting fun. Because Christmas is coming and everybody's going to decorate. So get busy, even if it's cutting out construction paper and making paper chains. We're all going to have the best Christmas that we can. Take good care, all of you. Please stay safe. The COVID is out of control. We only have to hold on a little bit more and then we'll have vaccines. So just hold on a little bit more so we can be safe together. Take good care. Everyone, have a great week. We missed you, Miss Bonnie. Take good care, everybody. Love y'all to bits. Bye bye, guys. Bye, Marcia. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much.